perfect. Okay, thank you. Is it working? Okay. Is it working? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me the possibility to explain our cooperative experience. We call experience because an experience always is changing, is dynamic, and it's not closed. It's not an old system. Okay. As you can see here, Mondragon, humanity at work. It's because most of our workers, most of us, we are worker owners. It does mean that we participate in management, in profits or losses, and also we are the owners, ownership. So, and I think that it's another way of doing business. Now we are selling 70%, 72% of all the incomes we are exporting from outside from Spain. And it's another way of doing business, and I'll try to explain you what kind of business we are. Okay. Here we can see the headquarters. This is the headquarters of Mondragon. But here in the headquarters, we only work 63 people. Why only 63 being more than 80,000 workers? It's because our organization is very decentralized organization. Each cooperative has their own, and we are 120 cooperatives, 120 cooperatives. You can see industrial cooperatives, most of them, credit union, one consumer cooperative, 4 small agricultural cooperatives, 8 school center. One of these is the university, Mondragon University, 15 research and development center, and 5 services cooperative like consulting cooperative, engineering cooperative, food or catering with 8,000 workers. Or in the consulting company, 600 workers, 600 consultants. Or also in the engineering company, more or less more than 500 workers, designing the highways or special buildings or anything, and insurance also. Okay, but all these cooperatives are independent, and each cooperative has their own marketing department, financial department, people department, production department. Okay, and so in the headquarters, we only give some services to the cooperatives. And also we do the coordination. For example, coordination in what? If one company needs a new CEO or a new director or a new engineer or economist, sometimes they have insight, but if they don't have insight, they phone to the headquarters in order to get from the other cooperatives and in order to get this service. And also, we do coordination in people. At this moment, we have more than 400 people relocated in the other cooperatives. It's because some of the cooperatives are not going well, but instead of being at home, unemployed, they are working in another cooperative. We are doing this coordination, passing people or relocating people from the 70s, when the first cooperatives started with this kind of problems, and also in the 80s, 90s, and now with the economic crisis, more than before. And here we can see, but also we do the coordination, passing money between cooperatives or putting money together. After that, we can see that being part of Mondragon, it does mean that each cooperative has to put at least 10% of the gross profit in Mondragon Investment Fund. This investment fund is to create new cooperatives from the headquarters, but also to help the cooperatives for the internationalization. If one cooperative decides to buy a new factory here in England, in that case, the cooperative is going to put 60% of the investment, and Mondragon Investment Fund is going to help them with the 40% of the investment. And another aims of this investment fund is to help the cooperatives to create new business, new products, in order to create new jobs. Okay. When the companies say, okay, we would like to create a new business, new products, Mondragon Investment Fund is going to help with the 40% of the investment. But if one cooperative say, okay, we need to change these machines in order to be more profitable, no. This machine has to the investment has to come from the budgets of the investment fund of each cooperative. But speaking about new products, new business, in order to create new jobs, we can help from the investment fund. Okay, so we put money together, But also we put cooperatives together in order to pass the knowledge, in order to innovate together, in order to purchasing together, or in order to offering projects together. Now, for example, we are doing a lot of jobs in Brazil because in the 2016 year will be the Olympic Games. And in that case, we are offering 5, 6 cooperatives together, offering one of these designing the new building, another one building, constructing, another one offering the air conditioning, another one offering the furniture. So we are putting together offering projects. So one of the features of Mondragon is the intercooperation. We pass people, money, knowledge, everything between cooperatives. And here we can see another cooperative. This is Caja Laboral, the credit union. Remember that we have one credit union. It's an open credit union, but it's to help the cooperatives. In fact, Caja Laboral was created from 4 cooperatives 52 years ago in order to create and in order to help the cooperatives. Okay, here we can see one of the research centers. We have 15 research centers, and this is one. Here this is the first one that started in 1974. There are 280 researchers helping the cooperatives, helping to be more innovative. And here, on the last part of the mountain, we can see several cooperatives. This is the first cooperative, Fagor, F-A-G-O-R, Fagor Domestic Appliances. They are 1,700 people now in big travels because they are producing washing machine, dishwashers, refrigerators, and now it's not easy to compete producing in Europe. Okay. Another cooperative, being 900 people, Arrasate, they produce presses to cut the iron. This another one is Fagor Electronic, 300 workers. And another one, automation, that produce CNC, computer numeric control for the machine tools. They are 1,000 workers. These 3 are going very well, but the other one, Fagor, is not going well. And in fact, now we are trying to close down in order to pass all these people to the other cooperatives and in order to be more profitable and maintain the employment, but being profitable. Okay. From these cooperatives, we can see several of them. This is Fagor in big problems. Before the economic crisis, or before 2008, they were 4,400 workers, most of them members. But now they are only 1,700. It's because Spanish market, and they are also exporting, but the Spanish market is going down, and there is not a new construction, new apartments, and they are suffering a lot. And probably in the next 3 months or 4 months, all these people we are passing. They are going to pass to another cooperatives, and we are going to close this factory. And it's the first one. It's a symbol, and it's hard. But they are losing money in the last 4 years, and no future producing goods in Europe, and it will be much better. It's like Philips. Last year, Philips decided not to produce more domestic appliances. GE, General Electric, decided 3 years ago not to produce more domestic appliances. In our case, we maintain the employment and tighten the belt, and that's one, but at the end we say, okay, it's much better to close and to invest all the money that we are investing in Fagor. It's better to invest in new projects because we have several projects that we are increasing. We are creating new cooperatives in order to pass these people and in order to resolve the problem. Orona, they produce elevators, lift. They are 4,000 workers. It's going very well, but not because producing new elevators is very profitable. No, they are not earning money producing new elevators. They produce, at this moment, 30 new elevators per day. But they are profitable because the maintenance, because the service. The service, the maintenance, is not possible to delocalize, and it should be made it here, in Mondragon, or in Europe, not in China, not in Asia, and that is the reason that Orona is going well. Orbea bicycles, they produce different kind of bicycle, but this bicycle, for example, it costs 10,000 euros, so 8,000 pounds. But they have also very very cheap bicycles and that one. It's going very well. Ulma Packaging, 800 people producing packaging machines to pack sugar or yogurt or this kind of. Okay. For example, Ulma Construction, it's another cooperative. This is the last stadium in Brazil, in Brasilia, that were the Copa Federaciones, Federation Cup last June, July, and we set up this one last year, not this year, sorry. Okay, different kind of cooperatives, and I can show you this another one. For example, this cooperative it's interesting. They are 1,000 worker members, most of them. Okay, well, when you start working in a cooperative of Mondragon, the first year, normally you are not a member, you are a temporary worker. Okay, you are a contract, you are an employee. And after 1 year, you are a good worker. And if you believe in cooperatives, of course, everybody say, yes, I believe, I'm the best cooperative, because otherwise we can say, okay, thank you very much, bye-bye, okay? But in this case, so 1,000 workers, most of them worker members. And in this case, this company, and we have at this moment 15 cooperatives that are going much better than ever. And you say, crazy world, what's the reason? It's because our competitors all over the world went down because the lack of liquidity, the lack of cash. And how we resolve this problem? Because we pass cash altogether. Okay. If one company has any problem to pay this week the salary or maybe the gross material to the suppliers, and they are going to get money next month from the clients, the solution is go to the banks asking for money. But if they don't give us a lot of money, in that case, we resolve passing cash between cooperatives. They phone to Mondragon headquarters and, okay, we need 1 million euros this week. What is the solution? Okay, we have all the information every month. Being part of Mondragon, one of the conditions is that they have to give the information every month about all the people, cash, and in this case, we know this information. Okay, you can phone to these cooperatives because they have half a million euros, the other one has 200,000, and so we resolve the problem. And for that reason, they are going much better than ever. They are becoming leaders all over the world and having profits in this crazy world, in this economic crisis. Okay, well, but last cooperative, so different kind of cooperatives. And this is interesting. They produce metallic construction. For example, this is the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. Probably most of you were visiting this Guggenheim Museum. Okay, different kind, but in this case, we can see that we are conquering the States because now they have already finished this month the huge central station in Ground Zero, where the Twin Towers went down. Okay, so it was a very huge project. For example, you can see here that there is not any pillars, so it's very difficult. In this case, the strategy for them was 18 years ago, they take, okay, we cannot compete with all the companies. We have to compete only with the best, or we can produce the most difficult projects. And in this case, they say that there are only 3 or 4 companies all over the world that can produce these very difficult projects. Okay, well, different kind of cooperatives. So you can see that it's possible to compete with, all over the world with being a cooperatives. Okay, in order to understand, so, okay, these cooperatives, all these cooperatives we have organized in different groups. In the group, in the finance group, in the finance area, there are the credit union, the mutual, that belongs to us, and also the insurance company. In the retail area, there are the Eroski, that is the supermarket, is the 3rd biggest supermarket in Spain, and also the agricultural cooperatives. And the industrial cooperatives we have divided in different sectorial divisions. In each one there are 8, 9, 12 cooperatives, and they set up, between these 9 cooperatives, they set up a second level cooperative of the sectorial division. And after that, the knowledge area is formed by the schools and the university, and also the research centers helping, supporting all the cooperatives. Okay, and the Congress is formed by 600. The only one company, the only one cooperative is formed by delegates, that is the Congress, because it's not possible to go 80,000. And in this case, the Congress is formed by 650 delegates from the cooperative, 650, and we set up once a year in order to approve the strategic plan or the annual plan, and also the condition to be part of Mondragon, and that's one. Okay. And for example, last May, we had a very interesting discussion before, and after that we approved. That was, in order to help Fagor domestic appliances, we decided in the Congress, and it was 100% of us, we decided, yes, we agree. We decided to reduce 1% of our personal salary in order to give 70 million to Fagor in order to be survive. That was last May. So sometimes we are thinking that we are losing the values and that's one, but last May was interesting because everybody agreed to give 1% of our salary to be alive, Fagor domestic appliances, but after that, now we realize that it's better to close, and now we are closing in these 3-4 months. Okay, well, in order to understand Mondragon, imagine that Mondragon is like a table. Imagine that this is one table, and on the table there are the cooperatives, these 120 cooperatives, with a very close intercooperation, passing people, money, okay, knowledge. And all these cooperatives are supported by 4 legs. The first leg is the educational leg. And in fact, we started in 1943, creating the Polytechnic School, that today is the engineering school of Mondragon University. After that, between 4 cooperatives, we set up Caja Laboral, the credit union, so another important leg, another important pillar. And after that, we create our own social welfare and health system that provides us with the pension, complementary system of the Spanish pension system. Also, Lagunaro pay me the sick leave, and also if I am unemployed, Lagunaro pay me 80% of my unemployment. Okay, we can choose the doctors, we can choose the hospital. It's our own mutual. This is the third leg. And after that, we create also the fourth leg. What do you think that? So, for all these cooperatives, the first leg was the educational leg, the financial pillar, the social welfare system or mutual. What's more? Why do you think that it will be interesting to support all these cooperatives? This morning we were speaking about this one also. Educational pillar, financial pillar, the social welfare and health system pillar, and the fourth one, what do you think? Sorry? No, help is here. Culture. Yes, we have the culture, that's okay. Charity. Knowledge or innovation. And so, in order to assure the future, we have to create our own research and development center. And in fact, we have 15. So Mondragon is an integral system that all the cooperatives are working together, passing people, cash, and all these cooperatives are supported by 4 pillars. The educational pillar, that is the most important and the first one. And in fact, Mondragon is an educational movement. In 1970, a journalist wrote that the Mondragon cooperative experience, it's an economic movement that used the education for its support. But the leader at that time, Father Amendiarreta, that created the cooperative, he said, okay, it's not bad, but it will be much better to say that the Mondragon cooperative experience, it's an educational movement that uses the economy for its development. So this is an educational movement in order to educate people, and if we develop people, if we empower people, we are going to create good companies, good cooperatives, and we are going to develop the society. Okay, educational leg is the most important, and after that, the financial, the other things, okay? It's to understand more or less Mondragon. It's not easy to understand us, we are very special people, okay. But what is the mission of Mondragon? The mission of Mondragon is not to earn money. This morning, Marial said that, okay, all the companies has to be sustainable. Also, yeah, sustainable. Yeah. That's true. All the cooperatives has to be sustainable, and most of our cooperatives are for profit organization. But we have all the cooperatives are for profit organization except the research centers and the school center, the university, okay? are non-profit organization, but the other try to get profits in order to develop the community, but in order to create wealth within the society. That is our mission, to create wealth within the society. How? Through entrepreneurial development and job creation. Okay, that is our aim. That is our mission. And this mission is based on a commitment to solidarity, internal solidarity, but also with the community, using democratic methods, so one people, one vote. And this is the paradigm also that, as you know, in all the cooperatives, that we encourage the participation and integration of people in management, in profits, and in ownership. Okay, this is very important. And as you know, we have our own values. Before he said that we have the four corporate values: cooperation, participation, we have to participate, we have the rights, but also we have the obligation to participate. Social responsibility means that we cannot delocalize the company. We have companies overseas, okay? But we never delocalize the company. We create another, we have in fact in England 4 companies. One of these in Birmingham, I have been there, but I don't know where the others. And here, okay. And but the problem is that all these factories that we have abroad are not cooperatives yet. So in this case, as you can see, we are not perfect, okay? That is not a paradise, and we are members, most of us we are members, but all the companies that we have abroad, all the companies that we have abroad are not cooperatives yet. We have already becoming cooperatives in Spain, outside, because all the cooperatives are in the Basque Country. You know, but the Basque Country is Mondragon, but Bilbao, San Sebastián, Pamplona, Vitoria, the Basque Country. And, but now we have already started becoming cooperatives in Spain, in the south of Spain, but not overseas. But I hope that in the future will be possible, because that is our aim. Okay. But it means that social responsibility means that we cannot close the factory here and delocalize and to produce in China. No, we are producing in China or in the States or in England in order to maintain the employment there, and after that, in order to be profitable also. But sometimes it's more strategic. For example, in Birmingham, we have a company that produces plastic components for Ford, General Motors, Volkswagen, and that one. And that factory in Birmingham, they are only 100 people. In this case, they are losing money, not last year, but a lot of years before they were losing money. But why? We bought that company, and in the last 12 years, probably in 8 years, they are losing money. Why? Because it's more strategic. We are very close to Ford England, in order to design together, and that's one. And sometimes it's a strategic way to maintain the employment there also. But here, of course, here they are not members, but of course we have to apply this philosophy, social responsibility philosophy, so giving good wages and treating as a human. Also, they participate in 10% or 20% in several places. We share between them 20 or 10% of the profits. Also, we have general assemblies with them, are more information general assemblies, but they participate, and every month, everybody participates in, as we say, in the monthly collaborators meetings in order to involve, and that's one. Okay. And the last one, innovation. And after that, we have 10 principles, like all the cooperatives here and all over the world. Open admission and neutrality. We are neutral, politically and religiously. Democratic organization, one people, one vote. Sovereignty on labor and instrumental and subordinate nature of capital. This is maybe the biggest differences between our cooperatives, worker-owner cooperatives, and the others, agriculture cooperatives or credit union, and that's one. That is, sovereignty on labor means that here, in cooperatives, labor has the power and not the capital. The capital is only a resource. It's a tool. As you know, in a conventional company, the capital has the power and the labor is only a tool. In our case, people is the core. People is the labor has the power, and the capital is only a resource. I can have more money in my own social account inside the cooperatives, but I have only one vote, and the new one member has one vote. or I can be the director or the CEO, I have one vote, and a blue-collar worker has one vote, democratic organization. For that reason, we have here sovereignty labor and instrumental and subordinate nature of capital. Participatory management, we have to participate. Wage solidarity means that the differences between the maximum salary and the minimum salary is less than in the market. We have to be in solidarity inside. Would you like to know, do you have the curiosity to know how much is the differences between the minimum and the maximum? Okay. Some of our cooperatives are leaders all over the world, okay? So we are in the market, and, but in most of our cooperatives, the biggest difference in most of them, in 95% of the cooperatives, the differences is between 1, that is the minimum, and 4.5 times, 4 times. And the biggest, the credit union, the supermarket, favor also, this company that now is in trouble. So in the 6, 8 biggest company, with 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 workers, in this case, the differences is 1 to 6. Okay? And I'm sure that you have a question. Okay, and how is the turnover? People who lives and who lives from the company. I have to touch boot. Now it's not easy to find boot. Yeah. Here is easier. Okay. But the turnover is nothing, so 0.0. And why do you think? Why do you think people prefer to be working in the cooperatives and not to go out getting double or 3 times salaries than here? What do you think? Can you tell me, please? Sense belonging. Okay, well, another one? Resilience. Job security. Okay, sorry?
Freedom and autonomy.
Okay, freedom and autonomy. Having a voice. Sorry? Right. Justice. Okay, well.
Quality of life.
Okay, following job. Yeah, you say before also that belonging, being part. Values. If for you the most important values is the money, the pounds or the euro, you have to leave because you can get more money outside. But if your most important values are be part of the projects, to vote, to critique, but be one of the members or decide you for your own future, in that case, people prefer to be here. Of course, you know the Maslow pyramid need, isn't it? The Maslow pyramid need, and most of our directors, or most of our people are on the top in the self-actualization level, okay? Of course, if we have to pay the mortgage, we have to take money and sometimes you have to leave. But if you don't have this kind of problem or you can afford this one, we prefer to work in a cooperative. After that, there are also job security, that's true. Training possibilities very high because we are the biggest company in the Basque Country and among the 7 biggest of Spain. Mother cooperatives in general, mother companies. And so there are some job security because until now we never fired any people in 57 years. Okay, and so this kind of values. Okay. But values are the more important. Okay, and wage solidarity I told you before, and you can see in capital letters intercooperation. That is the very important feature of Mondragon. Intercooperation in people between cooperatives and that's one. The 8th, something that you were telling this morning. If we want to change, Rick said, would you like to change the world? Yes, we would like to change the world. We have rated social transformation. We would like to change. We would like to transform the society. And in that case, we are trying to involve people, but also we would like to create jobs, to create wealth, and also create universities. And for example, all of the universities are in the big cities, in Bilbao, San Sebastián, Pamplona, Vitoria, but Mondragon University are in a small cities like Mondragon, Vergara, Aretxabaleta, Escoriaza, Goierri, Oñati, in different places, okay? It's a small university, only 4,000 students, open to everybody. We have from England also, students from England, not a lot, but we have. Okay, it's an open university, but only 4,000 people. Okay, social transformation. We would like to transform the society. Universality means that we are open to develop the social economy. And the last one, education. That is the core. That is education and intercooperation and participation, of course, and solidarity are the most important values and in order to maintain the employment and to create wealth. But anyway, in the last one, I have here my email. If you want to know something more about Mondragon, Mikel Lezamiz, mondragoncorporation.com, and I'll try to answer you all the questions, all the opinion. Okay, thank you very much.